say welcome again to another edition of our videos on Benjamin Academic Body. Today we are going to be talking on a very important concept, but before I go to what we are going to be discussing, I hope that you that are watching my video for a very first time, you do need to press the subscription button to subscribe to our channel. On YouTube we are Benjamin Academics Body, and on Facebook we are Benjamin Academics. You can always get up there to get more updates. On Twitter we are Benjamin Academics Body, and on TikTok Benjamin Academic Body. On Instagram we are just Benjamin. There you can always get updates. You can get our notes. We always post our notes on our Facebook page where it's Benjamin Academics. You can contact us from there, from our numbers and down on our Facebook page. So today we are going to be looking at a very important concept in world history, where it has been a very big problem that has been disturbing so many students. So we decided to put up a video today so we could examine it in a very critical manner, in an essence of what, to the understandings of the student. So we are going to be looking at what the responsibility. In our last class, we were trying to look at what how the First World War, or the reasons for the First World War in the world. And today I told you that we are going to be looking at what the responsibilities. That's the responsibilities of what, of the First World War. What were those responsibilities of the First World War? Who should be blamed for what? For causing the First World War in the world? Is it Germany that is to be blamed for causing the First World War? Is it Russia that is to be blamed for causing the First World War? Is it France that is to be blamed for causing the First World War? Is it Serbia that is to be blamed for causing the First World War? In this video, we are going to be understanding who is to be blamed for doing what? For causing the First World War. We want to understand, we want to know who was to be blamed or for causing the First World War. First, let us talk about what? First, in this kind of question, should in case a question come, how far was Germany responsible for what? For the outbreak of the First World War. Remember I said, when you are talking about what? How far, it is always what? A two-part question. Where part one you are talking about what? How Germany was responsible for what? For the outbreak of the First World War. And then part two, you are talking about what? Other countries that were responsible for what? For the outbreak of the First World War. So let's just look at how Germany was responsible for the outbreak. It was often said in the history of mankind that Germany was one of the founding fathers, or was one of the main reasons, was one of the highest people, or who was responsible for what? For the outbreak of the First World War in Europe. First, let us look at what the responsibilities of what? Of Germany in what? In the outbreak of what? Of the First World War. First of all, we want to talk about what? The alliance system. The alliance system was formed by who? By Bismarck, Otto von Bismarck. He formed this alliance system, and as a result of forming up this alliance system, Germany now formed an alliance with who? With Austria-Hungary. Now, when Germany formed an alliance system with who? With Austria-Hungary, in the year what? 1879, Germany formed an alliance system with who? With Austria-Hungary. Now, in 1882, another country came into existence of this alliance system, which it became what? It became triple alliance when it was added in the year 1882. That country that came into it was who? Italy. Now, as a result of this, France therefore went annoyed and then formed up what was known as what? His own alliance system. That he formed this alliance system in the year 1894. So when he formed this alliance system in 1894, he formed this alliance system with who? With Russia. So when he formed this alliance system with Russia in 1904, Britain therefore joined what? The alliance system of what? Of France. So as a result of this, it led to bitterness in the world. And between the two alliances that were formed between Germany and France, it also therefore provoked and led to what? The outbreak of what? Of the First World War in Europe. Let us talk about what? The Anglo-German rivalry. The Anglo-German rivalry. Now, the Anglo-German rivalry also was also a responsibility to what? To the outbreak of what? Of the First World War in what? In Europe. Now, in the part of Anglo-German rivalry, the Anglo-German rivalry, there, Germany, in the time Germany was producing war weapons, and Britain was also producing war weapons. Now, Britain therefore told Therefore told his government that they should suppress what the Germans in terms of what of war weapon. Now from that, when Britain therefore launched his war weapon, when he launched this war weapon known as a Dreadnought, he launched this war weapon. Germany therefore reacted to this war weapon and also launched it. In a period of time, Germany therefore produced 9 of these war weapons. When Britain saw this, he therefore did what? Produced 18 of these war weapons. This factor was also a high responsibility to the outbreak of the First World War in Europe. We'll talk about colonial rivalries. Colonial rivalries also influenced the outbreak of the First World War in Europe. As a result, we can talk about the rivalries that occurred in especially, let's use example like Cameroon. Germany and Britain over Cameroon, the rivalry over the territory. As a result of these colonial rivalries that occurred between Britain and France and between Britain and Germany in Cameroon, it also provoked the outbreak of a war known as the First World War. And then we can talk about the attitude of Kaiser William. The attitude of Kaiser William also influenced the outbreak of the First World War in Europe. This attitude of Kaiser Williams. How did the attitude of Kaiser Williams influence the outbreak of the First World War in Europe? Kaiser Williams was a very provocative man in Germany. So in this, first of all, he was not in good terms with Britain. That was why he sent a congratulation letter when Britain had a problem and he was defeated. For this provocative attitude, it also therefore provoked the outbreak of the First World War in Europe. And then we also have unconditional support to Austria. Now Germany also gave unconditional support to Austria. When he gave this unconditional support to Austria, it was Austria. When Germany gave this unconditional support to Austria, it also it influenced the outbreak of the First World War. Let's say, for example, when the problem that occurred in Balkan, when the Austrian prince was killed. Now Germany gave ultimatums to Austria-Hungary to give it to Serbia. Now when he gave these ultimatums to give it to Serbia, when they gave this ultimatum, the ultimatums were being given. The last ultimatums were not being applied. So since as Germany, Austria-Hungary already knew that Germany is having an unconditional support to him. What did he do? He therefore launched what is known as the outbreak of the First World War. Let us look at Serbia. How Serbia influenced the outbreak of the First World War in Europe. How did Serbia influence the outbreak of a war in Europe? Now, first of all, you remember it was Serbia. It was a student from Serbia known as Gavrilo Princip, who assassinated the Austrian prince, the heir to the Austrian prince, that is Francis Ferdinand. The Austrian prince that was assassinated in Serbia, that is Archduke Francis Ferdinand and wife Sofia. When this Austrian prince was assassinated, he was assassinated by a student from Serbia. Now, why they assassinated this Austrian prince, Austria therefore gave ultimatums to Serbia, that Serbia should take 3 laws into consideration. And the last part was that they should send the militaries of Austria to come and check if the first 2 were given. The first of it was that Austria should check all those who have killed the Austrian prince and and bring them before him. So as a result of the death of the Austrian prince Archduke Francis Ferdinand and wife Sofia, it therefore did provoked the outbreak of the First World War. So now we'll be looking at the responsibilities of Russia. How did Russia influence the outbreak of the First World War in Europe? Now Russia, when Russia influenced the outbreak of the First World War, when the Austria-Hungary had the Austria-Hungary had given Serbia ultimatums to follow. Now when Serbia refused to follow these ultimatums, what happened? Austria-Hungary declared war on Russia, on Serbia. Austria-Hungary declared war on Serbia. So when Austria-Hungary declared war on Serbia, what happened? Russia started mobilizing its troops. While Russia started mobilizing its troops, what happened? As a result of being mobilizing its troops, Germany also told Russia to stop mobilizing its troops. As a result of this, a war was declared, provoking what? The outbreak of what? Of the First World War. Let us talk about what? France. How did France influence the outbreak of the First World War in Europe? France influenced the outbreak of the First World War in Europe as a result of what? France wanted to revenge his two territories that were being taken from him by who? By Germany. They seized his two territories, that is Alsace and Lorraine, in the Franco-Prussian War of what? 1870 to what? 1871. When this war was fought, Alsace and Lorraine was seized. That is the French two territory. So France wanted to revenge the seize of these two territories. Therefore, his activities along the coast of Africa by forming the Triple Entente. That was in 1804. In 1904, he formed the Triple Entente. His influence of forming the Triple Entente in 1904 created tension between the two camps, and therefore leading to what? The outbreak of what? The First World War in Europe. And we'll also be talking about what? The Britain. How Britain influenced the outbreak of what? Of another war in Europe. Now, Britain was also practicing the policy of anti-German. When Britain was practicing this policy, that was why in the time where the British government decided to start taking up German military, start capturing them. Now, when they decided on that, they now came up with a new war weapon, that is a drone. When they came up with that drone, Germany went ahead and also launched its own. Now, as a result of that, Germany produced 9 of it. Britain therefore produced 18 of this war weapon. There was bitterness between these two territories to test this war weapon. As a result of that, it influenced the outbreak of the First World War. Nationalism also in the Balkan also influenced the First World War in Europe. That was some of the responsibilities that led to the outbreak of the First World War in Europe. Thank you, dear viewers, for watching this video on Benjamin Academics. Birthday on YouTube and on Facebook, we are Benjamin Academics. Please do not forget to like our page on Facebook. Do not forget to subscribe to our channel on YouTube. Do not forget to share our videos by sharing our links to other WhatsApp groups to help students who are especially writing the advanced level. Hope to see you in our next video. Goodbye and thanks for watching.